Alright, let's get back to it. So, the gargoyle statue turned out to be a statue. In all other aspects, it looks identical to the one that you actually fought, except that one of its arms is broken and laying on the ground in front of it. Treble, you went through the little crawl space just far enough to see that the wall at the far end was solid, and then backtracked and poked the thing.
So have the rest of us figured out yet that Treble can't see or hear us? Or
It's pretty apparent.
Is there anything in the gargoyle's hands? Does he have a collar on like the previous one?
He's not wearing a collar, but looking at the open and outstretched hands of the statue, the three that are still attached, in each of its palms looks like just the right size for a large gem, say for example a 100 gold piece blue quartz, to fit perfectly.
Okay. I face the wall and yell for them to throw me the collar.
And those of you, is everybody standing on the red tiles out there at this point?
I am, so certainly I at least hear. I'm just going to look around still. Do we want to let them to toss in the wind here? Or pretend we didn't hear that? Or twist in the wind, sorry.
And Treble, you can't hear anything of what they're saying. You're just talking to the wall at this point.
I mean, as I recall, it's Sirutka that has this thing, right? He's the grabby one, so it's up to him if he wants to push it through or not.
Wait, I'm the grabby one now? I guess I am. Woohoo! Was I able to hear him?
Yes, you guys can see and hear everything Treble's doing on the other side of this archway.
Okay, I toss the collar on through.
All right, Treble, you're now holding a collar with 10 blue quartz studded around the edge of it.
I sit down and pry out all the gems.
Okay, and you pry all the gems loose of the collar. The collar's not worth anything.
Okay.
I shake my head.
I throw the collar back up against the wall, and I start setting a gem in each one of the hands, even the one on the floor, if there's an indentation in the one on the floor.
There's not. The broken arm on the floor has no such depression. He turns around and throws the leather collar back at you guys, and from your perspective, it just looks like it hits the inside of the archway and falls to the ground. It does not come sailing through. And you set a gem into each of the three hands, and they instantly, all three hands close, and you hear a sickening, crushing sound. And when the hands open, just blue dust falls away to the floor from each of the depressions. And you now have 7 blue quartz worth 100 gold.
We found the gem disposal gargoyle.
I shrug and put 3 more gems in. They're not my gems.
So Sirutka is watching in horror.
What's your roll save against crying uncontrollably?
I mean, I'm going to step out of the way. You want to go in there and do something about this. You do you.
Treble, you load the statue up again, and you hear the crunching sound. And you guys can all hear the crunching sound standing on the tiles, and opens its hands, and you now have 4 blue quartz gems.
I turn back and look at the wall and smile, and then put 3 more gems.
And once again, the crunching sound ensues, and all the hands open up, and you now have 1 blue quartz gem.
Well, you're stuck in there. We have the way out.
Well, I gotta do something.
Leave them.
I'll put the last. I've only got 1 more gem, so might as well put it in.
Which hand? I mean, you got the left hand, right hand. There's one coming out his back shoulder.
Back shoulder.
He climbs up on the gargoyle and puts the last gem in place. And you all hear the sickening crunch sound, and the hand opens up and the blue dust falls away. And then you all hear a booming voice emanating from the statue that says, "Your sacrifice was not in vain. Look to the 4th to find your gain."
The 4th? I climb down and look into the hand.
Nothing there.
Nothing there? Okay. Maybe there's...
I
start feeling around on the hand, looking for anything, possibly a hidden compartment.
When you say feeling the hand, I mean, you're just reaching out to the open hand of the gargoyle?
I start massaging it gently.
And you don't even get to touch the hand. There is a large, invisible something or other in the palm of the gargoyle's hand.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
It's about the same. It's actually a little bit larger than the 10 gems you just crushed.
I'm gonna read this. I pick it up.
It feels large and like an oval shape and smooth. Not perfectly smooth, but it has facets, but they're incredibly small. So it's actually fun just to rub your thumb back and forth across it.
So it feels like a golf ball?
Like if you were to stretch a golf ball out into an oval shape, but it feels glassy. It feels like a gem.
So...
And as you're rubbing it, you start to see underneath. You're like rubbing some kind of invisible residue off of the gem, and you can start to see the actual physical shape. Excuse me, the physical shape of it. It looks like a very clear diamond.
Is it worth 1,000 GP?
It's a priceless gem, from what you can tell.
Hey, we can cast Raise Dead now.
I turn around at the wall and give 2 thumbs up.
And
I'm gonna read this part since we averted this trap. It says,
averted a trap? Oh,
yep.
God.
I'm quoting from the book. Note that if the arm is carelessly moved, the invisible gem will fall out and roll away. And that's it. You never get that gem.
Okay.
Well, so I've rubbed off whatever was making it invisible.
Yeah, you take a few seconds, and you now have invisible residue on your fingers, so you can see through your fingers. That's kind of weird. But the gem itself, it looks like a priceless diamond.
I yell for them to do the... Maybe it's magic. I mean...
I think he wants you to cast Detect Magic.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So, I've got to do something to get out of this room. So maybe either while he's doing his little thing,
His ritual?
his ritual. Okay, I'm gonna come over here and look. Maybe there's somewhere to put the gem or something in this little hallway.
So you get to the end of the hallway with the dead end, and what do?
I start poking at the hallway, at the wall,
and your hand goes right through the illusory wall.
Son of a...
Is he out of our line of sight at this point?
He is, yes. So you just poke your hand through, and your hand just goes through the solid wall, and for a second you're like, oh, my fingers are invisible, that's to be expected. But no, there's no wall there, you just push right through it.
I poke my head through.
Poking your head through. Do you still have a light source?
Do
you still? I mean, are you holding your torch out into the room?
I have the torch. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll hold the torch out.
Okay.
I don't have my 10-foot pole. They took it from me.
No problem. Looks kind of similar to the entry hallway that you came in, except there's no mosaics on the floor. And instead of paintings along the walls, it's inlaid with tiles. And the ceiling is painted with figures of animals, strange signs and glyphs, humans and human-like creatures posing with spheres of different colors. Now, from where you're located, you can only see 3 of these. You see the one directly across from you here, which is a pale blue being held by one of these creatures at about shoulder height, which for you would be above your head because you're a goddamn gnome. Looking to the side, you can see this one here, which looks orange and is being held about waist high for a human. And then looking here, you can see one that's silver in color and sitting at the creature's feet. What's your next immediate action before I go back to Dispel Magic here?
I'm just going to run back and explain what I saw and
okay.
So they are up to date. And
Treble fills you guys in, and by the time he's done explaining, you finish your Detect Magic ritual. Unfortunately, your Detect Magic will not reach through this archway. You're still detecting the archway itself, and the 3 glowing stones, and the Sphere of Annihilation, but nothing through the archway, even though he's standing right there.
Right, nothing beyond it.
So for the next 10 minutes, you have to decide whether to stay out here or whether to go through the archway with Treble.
Yeah, this is a conversation we need to have. So guys, we got 2 options here. Either we walk off in this mosaic and go on our own merry way, or some or all of us join him in this trapped hallway. What's it going to be?
Yeah. I just had to walk on through.
Okay. Treble, you are joined by the extremely damaged drow.
Now, is the gargoyle's arm around here still?
The gargoyle's arm is still laying on the floor in front of the gargoyle statue, which is still covered in ice. Oh, it's far too heavy to lift. You can move it, roll it back and forth, but there's no way to pick it up and carry it.
Oh, darn. Okay, then I just give up on that.
Two of you working together could probably pick it up and move it a short distance, but it's not the kind of thing you're going to add to your inventory and carry around in your bag.
Who is
then.
Who has the pole?
I think I may have still had the pole. I crossed through the threshold as well.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself through. As long as you're walking on the tiles, you'll follow Treble into that room.
I show him the. I show the Mr. Detect Magic the gem and say, "What you see?"
That was Bob, I thought, who's not
I haven't walked through yet.
Oh, right.
If you're making to go through, I'm going to tell you before you go through, I plan to hang out here for a minute, because once we go through this, we're committed and none of us are getting back, so that's the...
That was my only thing, so we could potentially, if we didn't step on the tiles, still enter the room and go down the other hallway.
You can, if you walk through this archway, you have the choice, walking on the tiles or off of the tiles. Follow the road or not follow it. Everybody who's gone through so far has followed it.
Okay. Now, my only suggestion was I also have a ritual spell for summon familiar, and we could go through that way, and I could send the familiar, who I can still see through his eyes and sense what he does.
Yep.
Send him through the other way, so we could get an idea of what's in that hallway as well.
I like this plan a lot.
Okay. If you take that 10 minutes to cast this ritual, though, your detect magic's going to fade away.
I say that's fine if we decide to do it in the other room again.
Actually, Find Familiar has a casting time of 1 hour, so you'll be doing it for a little while. The benefit of that, though, is Lord Enigma can spend some hit dice and gain some hit points back.
Does that sound like a plan to everybody?
I mean, they can't hear you. I can. I'm just gonna write. I've got that note. Can I assume I've got like a pencil or something?
Yeah, sure. You got a piece of charcoal or something you can walk right on the
I'm just going to write a real quick Cold Notes version of this and toss it through. Just say thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever they think.
Okay. So
I shrug. I don't care.
Okay. The idea on the table is take an hour for them to cast Find Familiar. And then if anybody wants to take a short rest during that time, you can.
Yeah, okay.
Enigma is the only one that's taken damage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a warlock, though, so I get my slot back, at least.
Yeah.
No, he took 5... from the gargoyle.
So the way this works is you have a number of hit dice equal to your level. So everybody's got 11 hit dice right now. Your hit dice are underneath your hit points. You got a little special box for them. So what you can do is you can spend as many hit dice as you want during the short rests. For Enigma's, it'll be a D8. You roll that many D8s, get that many hit points back, and you add your Constitution modifier to each die.
Okay.
But those 11 hit dice do not come back until you get a night's sleep.
Okay.
Other than that, it's an
gonna
uneventful hour.
Let me just want to understand it. So my Constitution
The way it
plus
works,
whatever I get for the dice.
you get 1d8 plus 1 hit points back per hit dice you want to spend. You have 11 to spend.
Okay.
There's a little section that tracks them. Like if you look below temporary hit points, there's a little box, the hit dice box, that shows you how many you have and how much each one is worth.
Mm-hmm. All that information's down there.
So I'll roll. I think I'll just roll 2 of these then.
Okay.
Okay. 10. My Constitution
So
of 12.
So you get a plus 1 Constitution modifier, so that first one is worth 8 hit points, the second one's worth 4, so you get 12 hit points back.
Okay.
And what is your familiar, Bob? What do you actually summon?
It's a raven named Newton.
And what do you tell your raven to do?
I tell him to fly through the portal, not on the tile, through the part where it's not on the tiles, and to scout the room, or to scout the hallway. See where swap
Here,
one.
I gave you your
He's
raven.
so adorable.
Okay.
So you send him through, and he walks through off the tiles and vanishes from sight. You don't see him anymore. Are you standing?
I step off the tile.
When you step off the tile, you see the raven walking into this dark hallway and then stops moving as soon as he's on the other side.
Now I can see through the familiar's eyes.
And looking through the familiar doesn't have dark vision though.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, he's still in darkness. But do either of you have a light source right now?
Well, I'm about to draw one. If not, I'd light a torch and ask him to turn around and see if he can see it.
Okay. So as soon as you light a torch, Bob, through the raven's eyes, far down at the very, very far away, hundreds of feet away or so, you see a bright light as soon as Jordiebear lights his torch.
Right.
And I'm going to wave it around just to confirm that's what we're looking at.
And yeah, you're looking through the raven's eyes, and you see the waving light back and forth at the far end of this hallway.
Let's. I'm gonna ask the raven to come back towards the light and see if we can re-enter the hall.
And it turns around and it looks very confused. Like first of all, it can't see the light when it turns around. Actually, scratch that. Turning around, you can see moonlight. About a few feet up off the ground through a small circular hole. There's moonlight pouring in.
What time was it when we came into the tomb?
I'm assuming it was the dead of night because you've got a drow and a dwergar in your party. And they are useless during the day.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the raven, when it turns around, can see moonlight pouring in from behind. And the moonlight is illuminating this little bit of red mosaic snake path that follows the hallway forward.
Can it see where the moonlight shines? Like the portal that it's shining in through?
Yeah, if it flies up to the hole, it can.
Let's have it do that.
And it flies up to the hole, and you're now looking out the hole that you guys excavated earlier.
Okay.
At the very entrance.
So it's in it. So all it did was loop around back to the hall.
To be clear,
Exactly.
Let's look to our left. Okay, so we do see it. All right.
So now the raven is standing at the entrance of the hallway here.
Okay, well that makes it. I'll have him fly back, perch on my shoulder, and I suppose. Do you think we should enter the room? I don't see we have much of.
Yeah. So my read on this is we solved the puzzle, and you and I just managed to unsolve it and waste our time. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So after a few more moments, you guys are going into the door?
Right.
Okay. So after the hour rest, you guys start to wonder if you'll ever see your friends again when they come through the wall and join you in the room.
I go and
What's
ask.
on this side over here?
I ask for my pole. I need my pole. I need my poking stick.
I return the poking stick.
Okay. I test the floor in here.
Now, you go to poke the floor, and you're more than 10 feet above the floor, poking down. You realize that the hole you're poking through is very high above the ground. Not like you're going to fall hundreds of feet, but your 10-foot pole doesn't reach it. You're thinking maybe 12, 13 feet up off the ground.
Damn it. Foiled.
It's not so high that you can't safely climb down to the ground. It's just too high for your pole to reach the ground from here.
I go back in the room and ask these guys to help me carry that arm.
Okay.
And we're going to carry it and throw it in there.
It's going to have to be two of the gnomes dragging it through. The dwarf and the elf are too big to maneuver themselves, plus this arm. But yeah, you two gnomes working together.
I'll help her.
Okay, if you help, that works for me.
Yeah, I'll help him do it.
Takes you guys a few minutes, but yeah, you drag this arm through. You're just going to pitch it through. And
Yeah,
it lands with a crash on the floor in front of you.
No traps, no fire, the floor didn't fall out.
Nope, floor didn't fall away. I mean, if there was anybody standing there, they would have got hit by a heavy-ass gargoyle arm.
Could we?
You think we should jump
enter?
in?
I could mage hand and hit one of the and touch one of the pillars before.
I mean, we can have that bird fly around the room to scout, can't we?
That's true. Yeah.
He can, but there's not a light source in there.
Okay.
I light a torch and toss it through the wall.
Okay.
Why did you not summon a bat?
So you toss the torch through the wall. So now the
Had I been thinking
north end
I-
here is illuminated. You send the... It's a crow or a raven? I forgot already.
Raven.
Okay. I'll give you about this much for a torch that's sitting on the floor here. Beyond this is too dark outside of the torchlight to see. So what you see is a door here that looks identical to pretty much every other door. This part here is a bare wall. This part here is a bronze orb, and the figure, the tile figure in the wall is holding it at about the waist. And then across from it here... I'm sorry, belay that. I read the wrong one. This one is purple, and it's way down at the foot level, like sitting at the figure's feet. The one across from it is green, and it's held way high overhead. There's a minotaur or something tall holding it, and it looks to be about the same level as the hole you're poking through. More south than that, the bird can't see without light.
I poke my head through and use my mage hand to pick up the torch and maneuver it as far forward as I can.
Okay. I'll go ahead and give you the rest of the room then, assuming you're going to complete this process.
Okay.
Big room.
This is...
Wow, it keeps going.
So, you see... you guys are taking notes. I'm going to go down the east wall, all these orbs and where they're located, then down the west wall. Starting here, there's another door on this in the side. Let's go to south down along the wall here. So there's that door. There's a bronze one held at the waist. There's a gray one held at the shoulder. There's nothing along the wall here. The next one is bright blue down by the feet. The next one is white held high overhead. The next one is turquoise held at the shoulder. The next one is scarlet held at the waists. The next one is pale green held at the feet. Then jumping back up here would be the next one you guys hadn't seen yet, is pink held high overhead. No, I'm sorry. It's not pink. That one's yellow held at the shoulder. This one is pink held high overhead. This one is black down at the feet. This one is pale violet held at the shoulder. The next section of wall is bare. Then there's red held waist high. Then there's buff, which I didn't know was a color, but Gary Gygax is better than I am. Down at the feet. Then there's a blank section of wall. Then indigo held high overhead. This area here has a very similar looking archway to the one that you just entered a moment ago. And when the raven gets close to it, the three stones in the archway begin to glow. The one down at the left foot glows with an olive hue. The one at the right foot glows citron. And the keystone, high overhead, gives off russet light as the raven comes in front of it. And there you go. You got tile mosaics all up and down with creatures holding these orbs all over the place.
Well,
Just hop down.
You hop 13 is that
Jump
a
down to the
face
ground.
I take the hop?
Just hop. I'm gonna hop down, like try to hop down in the general area where the arm landed.
Yeah, it's right there. And as you come down and look back out of the hole you came through, the orb is held high overhead, and it's brilliant gold.
So we came out of the statue.
You came out of the orb. It looks like it's just part of this mosaic, like a tile in the wall, like a gold orb. Like all the rest of them, it's just not solid. You sit there and watch all your friends come through it.
We never did look at the gem, did we?
Not with Detect Magic, no, because he used Find Familiar instead.
Well, do you want to redo the ritual again while everybody else explores the room?
Yeah, I guess we could start looking at these doors and stuff, and blank spaces.
Yeah, I'm more
Or
curious
he's-
what this cavity theater. Yeah, so it's the same smoke pouring out of it?
The smoke looks identical. What's different are the colors of the three stones.
Okay, and there's nothing like distinct on the floor to stand in or not this
No,
time? Stand
nothing.
on or not?
Well, I'm going to start poking the floor down the hall while they're doing that, and just to make sure that.
No, you poke the floor all the way down. It seems pretty safe. So, Bob, you're doing a detect magic ritual?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
The rest of you guys, go ahead and place yourself where in this room you're going to be investigating.
Should somebody try this wall right here? Since there seems to be a door connecting, or maybe it's that one too.
That is just a naked piece of wall. There's 2 doors, but they're both on the other side of the wall.
No, what I was
You,
saying,
the players, see that, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wise enough under here to know where we are. Like, we just get teleported, right?
Yes, you've been...
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, we don't know where we're at.
But I'm not going to block you from searching whatever stretch of wall you want to search. Whatever you need to do. So, Sirutka, you're going to open that door?
I'm going to check the door for traps, and I'm going, assuming it's all clear, I'm going to mage hand it open.
Yeah. What's your AC?
17.
17. Okay. This is the second time this has happened to you.
Yes, it is.
Don't stand in front of the doors
I
when
didn't
you open
think I
them.
was.
You
14.
literally.
14 points of piercing damage as you mage hand the door open. And again, it's a bare wall behind it that a spear comes launching out at. But this one jabs you in the chest. Knocks the wind out of you. 14 points.
Good hustle.
False door. Nothing on the other side. Treble, you're down here playing with the...
Yeah, I was going to push one of the. I was going to push the keystone at the top to see if it gave like the previous one.
And it does. It feels like it's the exact same thing. The only thing different are the colors of the stones.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that later. I just wanted to see if the mechanism worked the same.
Jordiebear, what are you doing up here?
Well, I mean, if he's just doing that, then I'm just going to exhaustively go through the combinations and see if we hit on anything.
Oh God.
So
I mean, okay, just to clear it for everyone else, like, I'm not the only one who has no clue how we stumbled in the previous solution, right? Like, no one divined anything from that.
It appears not.
Yeah, I wish I could claim some insight, but I got nothing.
Now, to be very clear, the way Gary Gygax developed this adventure for first edition, this was a time when the prevailing idea was that character knowledge and player knowledge were the same thing. If you're going to metagame, this is the adventure you need to metagame in.
Noted.
So, if you know the solution to this door here, but you don't think your character does, don't sweat it. Just enable the solution you think you know.
Okay.
So you're going to go through...
Unfortunately for me, I've got no fucking idea. So unless someone else does, I'm just going to
I don't either.
Okay.
Well, I also see the world in 8-bit color, so Citron and Russet means jack shit to me.
Yeah, same actually. I don't even know what these colors are.
Olive is like a really gross kind of green. Citron is kind of like a citrus orangey color, and then russet is like a rust, like a brick red color.
Well, more to the point, nothing bad happened when we got a bad combination of the last one, famous last words. So what have you depressed already? I missed that.
All he's done so far is he's pressed the top keystone, the russet one.
All right, I'll go left and right then.
So you go russet, olive, citron, and then after a few moments, the 3 stones come protruding back out. Enigma, what are you doing at that door?
I'm just examining it.
And it looks identical to every other door.
Step to the side, and I'll open it.
All right.
I open it with my mage hand.
And
Hey,
Doesn't help.
hang on a sec. I gotta take a moment here. I gotta bring my dog out for a moment.
okay, the good news is
Back in a few minutes.
he's not standing in front of the door when the spear comes flying out. It just clatters against the opposite wall. So now both of these doors are standing open.
We're learning.
So there's a spear poking out of this wall, and there's a spear poking out of this sirutka.
More like it's common sense.
Pebnep the Holy, apparently.
I'm glad you noticed.
All right, I'll give you one more combination down here before Bob's spell finishes up.
All right, let's go olive, citron, russet.
Olive, citron, russet. And then the same thing happens. Wait a few seconds, and the stones come back out from the wall. And Bob, your spell is completed at this point. And from where you're standing, Bear with me one moment. I have to check the book here to make sure I'm getting this right. From where you're standing, the only magic that you don't already know about is the gem, the diamond that Treble found. But remember, you only get a 30-foot radius around where you're standing.
Okay. So, do I detect anything about the gem itself?
Make me an Arcana check.
Okay, if it's a magical one, I get... Sorry, it's small, so I'm double proficient in history checks versus magic items or alchemical objects.
It's not a history check; it's an Arcana check.
Okay, sorry.
So it's a different skill, but you should be good at it.
Okay. It's an 18 plus 9, so 27.
27, that's good enough. What the diamond is a gem of true seeing.
Really now?
So let me just open up my trusty DMG and explain what the gem of true seeing does. Although Treble sounds like he already knows.
Yeah, that sounds pretty friggin' useful in here.
It's got 12 charges. As an action, you can speak the gem's command word, which you ascertain by using that Arcana check. You can expend 1 charge, and then for the next 10 minutes, you have True Sight, out to 120 feet. True Sight means you can see in the dark, you can see invisible objects, you see everything as it exists, rather than as it is magicked to be. So you get to see through any kind of illusions, any kind of trickery, and you don't have to worry about lights.
And what is the command word?
It doesn't matter. You can make one up.
It doesn't matter.
It's
Ooh, yes, good choice.
Okay, I guess I use the command... Before I do this, is everyone okay if I just use 1 charge for this room and give it a good once-over?
I mean, it's your gem, dude. You earned it with that horseshit. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got on it.
I use the command word, and I'll spend the next 10 minutes or so walking up and down, looking at all of these little spheres.
And it takes you about 10 minutes, because this is a big room, and there's lots to look at. Here's what you see. A secret door in this wall. Is it a one-way door? Let me find out.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
It's a secret door right where Treble's hand is. It's a magical door, which means it's magically locked from this side. This orb here, obviously, is just an illusion covering a hole in the wall. This black one, down at foot level, is an illusion covering a hole in the wall. And... is there one more in this room? Yeah, this red one down here is another illusion covering a hole in the wall.
Do I see anything with when I look this way? Do I see anything obvious?
Coming down through there, no, you just still see the mists. You can't pierce through them, even with True Sight. Which suggests to you that they're really there, and they're really doing whatever they're supposed to do. It's not an illusion, it's not an obfuscation, those mists are actually there.
Alright, so we got a magically closed door and 2 illusory walls. Thoughts? Which one do you want to try first?
The True Sight doesn't give him any knowledge about how to open the magically sealed door, right?
No, it just lets him see that it is a magically sealed door. And going over that part of the wall, you don't see any mechanism or anything to open it from this side. You would need a magic spell, like Knock or Dispel Magic would probably work.
And for some reason, the pre-gen rogue did not have Knock.
That seems like a mistake.
That's what... It has Find Familiar, or forgot Find Familiar, but it doesn't have Knock.
So what's next?
Well, so, I mean... This black one's at, like, foot level, so do we just want to walk through this orb and see what we see?
If you can fit the torch in, I can send the raven through it.
Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand right here, summon my mage hand, pick up the torch, and just walk it through.
What is the... As you're walking the bird through, what is the actual range on mage hand? How far away can you go? This is going to be important. This is what the spell app is good for. I ordered the USB chargers on Amazon that I needed, because it's the same charger that my wife uses for her Kindle that was also destroyed. But I ordered the wrong charger. I ordered a USB-C instead of a mini USB. So I have these really nice Amazon chargers that don't fit anything I own. I decided to keep them. I figure this time next year I'll have something to plug into them.
Mage hand's 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, so you can get the mage hand this far into this tunnel. The raven hops through, and then the torchlight extends, but you can't see beyond this corner.
Okay.
Are we sure this is a raven and not a canary?
Well, he's kind of functioning like one so far. So I can't see around the corner right here.
No, because he can't put standing back here. He can't move the torch farther than here. The torch is illuminating out to here, but beyond that is darkness. You can continue to move the raven as far as you want.
But you can grab the torch, go to the other hole in the wall, and do it that way.
There is no hole in the wall on that side.
Oh,
in fact, it looks like there's a slight downward grade coming in around this corner. You're going to come in under this hallway.
Okay, I'll go as far as we can visit. We have visibly seen.
Okay.
With the pickup.
And the hallway continues down something like this. If you were not using like a map to keep track of the adventure, why the giant D12? No, get out of here.
I don't know. Do we have any barbarians in the party? Why would we even have a D12?
So it continues this far.
Treble, do you want me to send the raven after you and we can keep doing the torch trick for a
Yes.
while?
Yes. I'll go as far... This is as far as we can see?
So you move further.
Yep.
And, I mean, Treble, at this point, you're deep enough in this hole now that your companion's so far behind you, and these twisty passages just sound like faraway echoes. And it continues onward.
I guess I'll keep going. I mean, they know where I'm doing.
They do.
Yeah, I presume he's keeping us up.
Well, I can tell them. I can see everything and hear everything with the raven, so I can tell them everything that's going on.
So you'll let us know if it gets eaten by Gru.
No, when you
Exactly, yes.
And the passageway continues around yet again.
What do I see here?
You see the passageway continue about 30 feet south and then turn to the west. But I can't reveal that next tile yet.
Okay. Can you draw on top of this?
I don't think I can, actually. Oh,
that
Actually,
seems wrong.
actually I can. Neat. I didn't realize I could draw on top of this. So yeah, kind of... What are you doing? No! Stop it.
What?
Try pixel paint.
I don't like pixel paint. Pixel paint.
Life's all about disappointment.
Yeah, pixel paint I can't draw on it, though.
Damn.
Okay, well,
So it looks like it snakes around this way.
I'm just going to watch my corners and keep going.
What are the rest of you doing back in the room while Treble's inching his way forward in here?
Anyone have cards? We can have basic stuff, right?
Well, Treble the raven's going out in front of you, so...
And
I'm
it
just
turns
waiting
back
for
to the south, and it looks like it continues that way for some distance.
I think we should go back. I'm going to make my way back.
So
here.
you come this far and see that it
Yeah.
continue south and then head back?
Yeah, that's getting a little too far. So
All right.
I'll walk
you
back
want to
here.
head that way then? Like, I like walking down a hallway versus fucking around with like a jet trap door.
Yeah,
We-
until
still
we
have-
get a puzzle, this teleporter, I don't think we'll have much luck with it.
someone poke your head into that one.
That's a good point.
let's do the... Yeah, Treble, you want to do the raven trick again?
That one's at chest level, as I recall.
This one was
Human
about
chest or
waist,
no
yeah,
chest?
about waist high. And we're doing the Raven trick going in through there?
If someone will do it with me, yeah.
Okay. And again, a little passage goes inside.
I'll be the light for the Raven.
Now, Sirutka, are you going through this tunnel while Treble's in the other one, or did you wait for him to come back first?
I assumed we were both back. The Raven was back.
We're using the Raven, so yeah. So I wait until Treble returns with the Raven before I embark on this endeavor.
Okay. And you take this path forward about 40 feet or so, about here-ish. Then it just dead ends. Stone wall.
All right.
How long does
I
True
tap
Seeing last?
the
10 minutes. It wore off a while ago.
I tap the wall, make sure that with my it's actual solid and not illusionary.
Yep, feels stone. You tap the wall in front of you, tap the wall to the left side, tap the wall to the right side. Stone, stone, stone.
All right. I'm not a dwarf, so I think stone is stone.
Well, I am a dwarf, and it seems horseshit that this secret passage is empty, so I'm going to go in there and roll investigation, perception, or whatever I have.
Oh, I see. I
Jordiebear.
see how it is. Ooh, look at me. I'm a
This
dwarf.
passage is too small for you to get into comfortably, so I mean, you're crawling through on hands and knees and shouldering your way through and getting dust in your beard. Go ahead and make me a wisdom perception check at this dead end.
Let's see, that's 14 on die plus flat, 14.
Okay. And you find a secret door on the right-hand side of the dead end.
I have just personally set back gnome dwarf relationships for another generation.
Hey, chumps, there's a door.
What's next?
I'm
It's okay.
open it.
You're an evil dwarf. It's
Open
fine.
it up.
Yep,
Might be a spear.
might be.
Excuse
Feeling
me.
lucky.
Here we go. All right.
No. So you open up the secret door here and look into this room. Now, this room, you're just looking into it. You haven't not entered yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay. It's a 10-foot drop down to the floor level from the little crawl space as you exit. And actually, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Ah.
Nah, that's a 3 on die. I'm sure it's a fail.
Right. You open up the door and go to poke your head through and realize too late that the stone in front of you tilts downward into the room and you slide forward.
Yeah, alright.
And you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Tumble into the room.
Oh, my dignity!
I'm going to again read directly from the book. The character who opens the door will fall to the floor 10 feet below due to a tilting stone at the mouth of the crawlway, taking falling damage. And then in parentheses, a mere annoyance, but it erodes the strength of the party. Gary Gygax, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn it, that dignity was going to see us through to the end.
I have good news for you, though. There are 3 treasure chests in this room. From where you're standing, remember you're facing south, so right and left are going to be inverted because you're facing south. So the right-hand chest is made out of gold. Or to your eyes, it looks like it's made out of gold. The one directly in front of you looks like it's made out of silver. And the one to your left is an oak chest bound with thick bronze bands. Each chest about 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, stands about 3 feet high. So these treasure boxes are almost as tall as a gnome.
Mimics.
Yeah.
Hey, grubby gnome rogues! I found treasure. Get in here.
I guess let's go in there and take a look.
Watch your step.
Well, they have no danger because they're not the ones who open the door. They can come through safely. It's only the person that opens the door that falls into the room and takes 10 feet of damage.
Okay, are
I'm going to
the
suggest starting with the gold one. I don't know how long that little poem we found should apply, but my default from here forward is going to be to start with gold.
Well, are the chests attached to the floor?
They are. They're actually affixed to the floor. Looking down, the two metal ones look like they're bolted directly to the ground. The oak one has bronze bands that are bolted in a similar fashion.
Okay. I think we should open them from behind using the mage hand.
Probably a while ago.
This rear wall is unremarkable, right? There's nothing else in the room.
Which wall?
The wall to the south.
Yeah, all the other walls of the room look unremarkable. There's not any frescoes or tiling on these walls either. What are Enigma and Bob doing back in the room? Are they following through, or are they staying out in the hallway?
We still haven't got the sequence on this door right here yet, have we?
Nobody's... Yeah, they played with it a little bit, but nobody's gotten it to do anything.
Yeah. I don't really feel like shimmying my way through this, so I'll just hang back over here with Bob.
Okay.
I don't know what combinations we tried.
I mean, presuming you were watching, I can tell you. Start with citron, and it'll be something new.
Okay, so you can do citron, olive, russet, or citron, russet, olive, basically.
Do citron, olive, russet.
Okay, and you do the three of them with a mage hand?
Yes.
Okay, and you do the three of them, and after a moment, the stones protrude back out from the wall. Nothing happens. What's going on in the treasure box room?
I start with the... I do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Again, I think gold. I point at it, but you do you.
I'll use my mage hand to... While standing behind the chest, I use my mage hand to open the latch on the wooden chest.
Would it be possible for me
You open it up?
to aid another in him trying to open this up?
No, there's no need. There's no locks on these chests.
Okay.
Just open the latch and push it open.
All right. Roll initiative.
Oh, damn it.
Let's do a rook this time.
My initiative rolls just keep getting lower.
My God, mine actually went into the double digits.
Mine can't go lower. Only up from here.
This monster's not in the monster manual. It's only in the Yawning Portal book. Ooh.
24 for Treble.
I'll ask when I get there.
Sorry.
24 is a lot higher than what I rolled.
I'll be the judge of that.
Sirutka, what'd you roll?
23.
Is the Raven in there with those guys?
It was. I can't move. For some reason, it's not letting me pick it up and move it anymore. But
Oh, I accidentally locked it.
Oh no!
It was nailed to the ground.
Yeah,
Since the Raven is in the room there, you guys out there can roll initiative too, because you know what's going on in here. So, Bob, what'd you get on initiative?
I got a 6.
A 6. You're going to have to do better than that. Treble, I've already got. Jordiebear.
3.
Wow. And Enigma.
29, I believe.
29.
29.
You're adding your dex mod, not your dexterity score, right?
5. Oh, that's +5 then.
It's
Hold on.
right next to your AC. If you see your AC box, the number next to it's your initiative.
Yeah, it's D20 plus your
That's
dexterity
14.
mod. 14.
Okay,
Okay.
that's...
Now, as soon as you open up this oak box, a gigantic skeleton is teleported into the room. And it's going to murder you all. Treble, you are surprised. Surprise just means you can't act. You can't do anything, really. Sirutka is surprised. Enigma is surprised. Giant skeleton.
He's surprised.
You wish.
Aw.
And thing's wielding a gigantic scimitar, and it gets to make 3 hits.
Where's he at?
He's right in the center of the room,
Oh, I see.
next to that silver chest.
Before you roll these, Rick, are any of them targeting me?
No, they're all targeting Treble. He's the one who opened the box. Treble, what's your AC?
17.
17. I hit you 3 times. I'm going to give you the damage one at a time. First scimitar attack deals 18 points of slashing damage. Second scimitar attack deals 18 points of slashing damage. And the third scimitar attack deals 14 points of slashing damage. As the thing's just hacking this poor gnome to pieces.
Ow. Bury me with my...
Bob the Elder is surprised. Jordiebear is surprised. Treble, you are no longer surprised. Have at it.
Well, okay. I cast Mirror Image.
Okay. And that gives you... That gives you... I'm trying to remember, because Riot casts this all the time. That gives you 4 little trebles pop up around you, so you got 5 total.
Yep, and then I disengage and make a break for the door.
Okay. Remember, this hole's 10 feet up off the ground, so it's going to take you 20 feet of movement to get up there. Because climbing basically takes double movement. It counts as difficult terrain.
Okay.
So you're not going to have that much left over when you get to that space.
You can get up into the hole, but that's about as far as you can go.
That's fine. I figured high ground is good.
All right. Sirutka,
thanks.
Okay. Now, is Jordiebear close enough that I can use my sneak attack option against this critter?
Jordiebear, you weren't pressed all the way back in the corner of the room, where you were standing right behind Treble?
Yeah, I didn't make any effort to, no.
I'll let Jordiebear decide. Are you standing right next to the skeleton, or are you not?
Yeah, sure. I didn't make any effort not to, no.
Okay. So yeah, you can get your sneak attack dice.
I'm moving to kind of a more flanking-esque position and pray that the dice are kind to me.
Now, there's no actual bonus for flanking in this edition. You don't actually get anything for it. Thank goodness, because that was so hard to keep track of.
Oh god, yes. In Pathfinder, I'm hating it. 15 to hit.
15 does not do it. What are you attacking with? Short sword?
A short sword, yes.
I mean, your sword just goes...
Which is piercing, so it won't be too effective, I'm guessing.
Actually, he doesn't have a resistance to piercing, but you didn't hit its AC.
Nice.
So your sword just clatters around in its ribcage for a second. You pull it back. Staying there or moving? You do still have a bonus action to try to disengage if you like.
The problem is I don't want Jordiebear to get...
I will remind you, I'm literally the sturdiest person in this group. In as much as we have a tank, it's me.
Alright, well then I am disengaging and I too heading to clamber up after Treble.
You're not going to be able to climb all the way up the wall, so you're going to have to end your turn like at the wall. So you'll be outside of its reach, but you don't have enough movement to climb up after him yet.
Guys, maybe give the wizard room to poke his head in if he wants.
That's going to bring us to Enigma.
Nothing I can really do from here, I think, so... Gonna...
Buckle those slashes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Buckle them to the shine.
Okay. A big scary skelling man gets a turn now. And...
Can't familiars cast any spells the caster knows?
I'd have to look up the spell. I think so, but I don't know the specifics. I actually had not had anybody use Find Familiar in a 5e game before. Go ahead and look that up while I start beating the hell out of Jordiebear. And if it turns out he can cast, I'll just give him the turn afterwards.
If that's your plan, hold up.
Okay.
If an undead targets you, they must make a wisdom saving throw versus your DC. On fail, they have to attack someone else.
So Siruka's about to have a real bad day.
So that's among the dead. It's my.
Oh, it's absolutely undead. Wisdom saving throw. It gets a 9.
Nope, that's not going to do it.
Then it's gonna turn around and take a step forward and chop it.
In my defense, aren't there mirror images of Treble lying around?
No, they follow Treble. They're in his square.
Oh.
So there are actually 5 Trebles up in the hole above you. Sirutka, what is your armor class? It's on your sheet, like right above your hit points.
17.
17. That's 3 hits. All right, I'm about to give you a lot of damage. Here they come.
Okay.
If I don't drop my dice on the floor. First scimitar hit 14 points of slashing damage. Second scimitar hits. 17 points of slashing damage. And the third scimitar hits. Ooh, that's a big one. 22 points of slashing damage.
Good news, everyone. -3.
So you're knocked out?
Here.
I am in the negative.
So there's no negative HP in this edition. You're at 0 hit points, which means you're unconscious. Yep. On your turn, you'll start making death saves. If you fail 3 death saves before you pass 3 death saves, you're dead. But probably the skeleton will kill you long before that, so don't worry about it.
That makes sense.
So what did your Find Familiar uncover?
When you cast a spell with a range of touch, your familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast the spell. Your familiar must be within 100 feet of you, and it must use its reaction to deliver the spell when you cast it.
Okay, then yeah, all of that does apply. So if you have a touch spell you want to use against this skeleton, you can use your Raven to deliver it in there on your turn. But it has to be a spell with a range of touch. Is there... I don't have Bob's character sheet in front of me here. Is there anything you can see, Treble, that qualifies on there?
On what? I don't know.
Ray of Frost is multi-attack spell.
He doesn't have
I don't know what spells he has.
I don't think he's got much of anything, actually. I don't know, not a touch spell. He's got counter spell, haste. Yeah, he doesn't have any touch spells on here.
Is haste touch? Could he apply that to someone?
Well, I have a few touch spells, but I don't know. There's not one I can see that I think would help in this situation.
Okay. And that's going to bring us...
If I was in range, if he hadn't have already killed or got Jordie and he's in range, I could have made him invisible.
Jordiebear, it is your turn then.
Alright, I'm going to amble over this way, taking care not to leave its threat range. It's Sirutka that's down, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Laying unconscious in front of the opening.
I'm going to cast Spare the Dying, and I forget the name of the feature, but because I'm an Undying, I can use it when I cast it. When I take a character to 0 HP and stabilize them, I can choose to grant them 1d8 plus 3 healing with Defy Death.
Okay, go ahead and roll that d8.
All right, so that was a 1, because of course it was. Not that it's ever probably going to matter. So that's 4 healing.
So you're conscious again, but you're still laying prone. You have 4 hit points.
Better than what I was at.
And then where are you ending your turn? Can I also just point out that it's Jordiebear's fault that you got hit in the first place?
Oh, wait, I had no say in that. That's not an elective feature. It doesn't say if you wish. That's just how I work. They're just fucking scared of me. What can I say?
Does this mean I can blame Treble then?
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
That's going to bring us back to Treble's turn, actually.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm going to finish whatever extra movement I have left. I'm just going to circle back around.
That's fine.
Here.
Yeah.
I only have one more casting in this, but I'm going to try Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it. It doesn't say it doesn't work on undead.
Okay.
It's
wisdom
15.
save.
15.
Ooh, it fails. And I don't know what a giant skeleton laughing sounds like, but it's pretty horrifying. I imagine it's like very dusty and scratchy sounding, because it doesn't have vocal cords, but it's absolutely
Wasn't there a scene
laughing.
in Pirates of the Caribbean where the ghost pirates were laughing?
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
There we go.
And then I use my extra rogue movement and I disengage again.
Oh, you don't have to disengage. You're not in anybody's threat range.
Okay, well, I just run away.
So you can use your cunning action to dash and get all the way out of the hole if you want.
Yeah, I'm doing that, yeah.
That's going to bring us to Sirutka. You are not inside of the thing's threat range at the moment.
Okay.
But you're laying prone at the base of the hole. So you have to use half your movement to stand up.
I'm going to use my movement, half my movement to stand up.
Which means if you want to come up through the hole, you're going to have to use cunning action to dash.